What is going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993 back here to talk about, for the first time in about a year, I'd say, some baseball. Yes, I'm grinding my gears again, trying to talk baseball again, as I keep been saying how many times for the past few years. Maybe this will work, who knows. But we had some big news in Major League Baseball today. Definitely a little bit shocking to me, definitely surprised me a little bit, but stuff like this, it could happen. And as I will describe, as the article I will read from based off this, never a right time, as this was a surprise. As today, May 6th, 2021, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim have designated first baseman slash designated hitter and future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols for assignment. Meaning, in 3 days, he will clear waivers and he will be, for the second time in his career, a free agent. This came after Pujols had a rough start to the 2021 season, where he's currently batting, for what I saw, 198 with 5 home runs so far this season. According to this article here, which I will, kind of not read word for word, but kind of summarize for the most part, it's called "Never a Right Time" as the Angels designate Pujols for assignment. Pujols, who is now 41 years old and was in the final year of his historic 10-year, $253 million deal, which includes a 10-year, $10 million personal services contract once his playing days were over with the Angels. Angels General Manager Perry Minasian said there's never a right time for something like this. Everybody has a lot of respect in the world for what type of player Pujols is. This is more about playing time and who we have. Apparently, there had been discussions about Pujols' future the past 2 weeks, with obviously his age at 41 years old, and obviously the past few years his skills declining for sure. There was talk about his future. They have Jared Walsh, who has become the club's everyday best option for his everyday first baseman for the Angels, getting a lot of at-bats, having a really good season so far. And then, of course, we have Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher and solid designated hitter, who's basically leading the league, evidently leading, I believe, for home runs, or at least tied. As a pitcher, of course, the American League has 10 home runs. Obviously, they're not taking his bat out of the lineup anytime soon. So, obviously, with Pujols basically limited to either first base or DH, can't really play outfield anymore, as Pujols at the beginning of his career was an outfielder. Also had a few games, I remember they threw him in at third base also. Obviously, though, his options were running out with the Angels at 41 years old. So this was not more about, Pujols' decline. It was more so who they have and who was their best option for sure. But of course, they felt this was the best thing to do for the organization. Here was an Angel statement from owner Art Moreno discussing Pujols. He said the Angels organization proudly signed Albert Pujols in 2011 and are honored that he has worn an Angels jersey for nearly half of his Hall of Fame career. Albert's historic accomplishments, both on and off the field, serve as an inspiration to athletes everywhere, and his actions define what it means to be a true superstar. Since his Rookie of the Year season 2001, Albert and his wife, Deidre, if I mispronounced that, I apologize, have generously given their time and resources to the countless charities throughout the world. We are very thankful to the entire Pujols family. Pujols was not in the lineup Wednesday against Rays left-hander Ryan Yarbrough, a pitcher he has apparently had a lot of success in the past. But of course, things had changed. Apparently, Pujols was not too happy, though, about not being left out of that lineup. And also, obviously, Pujols knew that his time was running out. Apparently, he talked to them and he felt that he's not ready to retire. He still feels like he still wants to play. And even though he also said that he's not ready to retire, even if the Angels felt he wasn't the best option for them at the current time. So, obviously, eventually, Pujols intends on trying to sign with another team. He currently leads all active major leaguers with 667 home runs, which I believe is fifth all time, as I believe he's still behind Alex Rodriguez, Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, and Barry Bonds. Of course, yeah, he's fifth. I think he's third all time in RBIs with 2,112. He has 3,053 career hits and has played in 2,886 games. Um, and so as a now free agent, what's next for Albert Pujols? Again, this obviously was not an easy decision. As I said, he played 24 games. He hit a buck 98 with 5 home runs and 12 RBIs. Which, okay, power numbers, I'd say that's not too bad. But of course, average and everything, his play discipline and everything is just not there anymore. So really, where do we go from here with Albert? Like I said, it's very obvious that Pujols does not want to hang it up yet. I think it may be time, unfortunately, because what other options does he really have? The two, of course, floating around is obviously the St. Louis Cardinals, which he spent the first half of his career. I think it'd be very fitting based off of the history Pujols has, and obviously his best days for sure came with the Cardinals. But does he really have many options in St. Louis in the National League? I don't think any club's going to look at him as a starting first baseman. Because again, he's just not, doesn't have the fielding ability anymore. And of course, the Cardinals have Paul Goldschmidt as their first baseman. You really think they're going to cut Goldschmidt's playing time at this point? No, definitely not. I mean, for like a Legends nostalgia act, maybe, sure. But if Pujols still thinks he can play every day at first base, then the Cardinals may not be the best shot. There is the White Sox, of course, because his former longtime manager of the Cardinals, Tony La Russa, is manager of the White Sox now. And, yes, he's not going to replace Jose Abreu, but they do have that one, what's his name, for the White Sox. That's a good hitter, at DH. So that may cause some problems there, too, unless they give him what's the guy's name again? What's the guy's name? Hang on. I'm going to find it. Chicago White Sox roster. What's his name? Yermin Mercedes. That's who it is. I don't think he's been doing well, so I don't know if there's really any room for him actually in the field. I mean, there could maybe be in the outfield since Luis Robert is actually out with an injury right now, which is a big blow for sure for the White Sox. But I don't know how good of a fielder Mercedes is. But it's tough. Like, there really isn't many options for Pujols. And, I'd hate to see him, have to call quits. But even if he does, again, he has nothing else to prove. Like, I'll be flat honest first and say that, as, guy from Pittsburgh, obviously, supports the Pirates when they're good, for sure. Growing up, when I first started watching baseball, I hated Albert Pujols. I absolutely despised him. And I think it was because he was just so good. He was so good, and he just destroyed the Pirates every time he played him. But over the years, seeing, a lot of players that I was a fan of that just disappointed me, whether, their actions on the field, things they did to enhance their game that was not legal and such and everything, seeing all that happen, it helped me gain a lot of respect for Albert Pujols. This man's a Hall of Famer. He's a superstar. He's truly one of the greatest to step onto the field. Even if his time with the Angels was not as good as his time with the Cardinals, he's still one of the greatest of all time. I'm never going to take that away from Albert Pujols. But like I said, if this is it for him, he's got nothing else to prove. He has the resume. He has, multiple world championships with the Cardinals, MVP, 606, fifth all time in home runs, third in RBIs, 10-time All-Star, I believe it is. This guy's a package to the Cooperstown either way. If this is it for him again, I'm proud of Albert Pujols. And again, I wish I would have. I honestly wish I would have had the respect for him sooner than I did. I mean, I'm always, I'm going to be honest and always say that, I once despised this man. But like I said, I respect the heck out of him. He's one of those guys that eventually, if he ended up being someone who was not an honest player, my heart would have been broken. But, again, Albert Pujols, released by the Angels. If this is it for him, which there's a good chance it could be, I don't know if someone else will pick him up. Like I said, I just don't feel he has many options. If no one else picks him up, though, then this man is definitely going to the Hall of Fame. Maybe a first ballot Hall of Famer, too, I would say. Oh, definitely first ballot Hall of Famer. Why am I even kidding myself on that one? And it is, again, thank you, Albert. And another fun fact, too, about Albert Pujols. From what I believe when Albert Pujols officially retires, he will be the last player to participate, to be involved in this game, Backyard Baseball 2003, that I still play from time to time. This was actually the game that made me a baseball fan. And Albert Pujols, I believe, would be the last active player to have appeared on that game. And again, if this is it, thank you, Albert. So, guys, that's my thoughts on Albert Pujols being designated for assignment and will be a free agent in 3 days for only the second time in his career. What are your thoughts, guys, on Albert Pujols becoming a free agent? Do you think he's going somewhere? Do you think there's another club that has room for Albert Pujols at 41 years old? Do you think he's going to retire? Do you think he'll go back to the Cardinals, White Sox? Where do you think he's going to have with Pujols next? Make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content to come on my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. Till then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll see y'all later. Have a great night. Peace out, everybody. No escape.